Hello and welcome to today's first episode of House of Tremere. We bid you welcome into our mighty pyramid, the strongest of shapes. But yeah, welcome to our new Vampire the Masquerade series, where we will be playing a bunch of Tremere trying to survive what may or may not be the end of the world. Um, I think with that, lovely to see all the new faces that have joined us, and old faces who have come to help support our lovely uh, series. Uh, a little bit about me. Hello, I am Mark, aka the CatsMeow, and this is my channel where I run various TTRPG games, which at the moment is all vampire, which I just so happen to like. So yeah. Um, this is very much my passion project and love letter to one of my favorite clans, the clan of Tremere. And with that, we're going to go through each of my lovely players, and they are going to introduce who they are. You don't need to introduce your characters yet, but you can give little tidbits if you'd like. And I'd also like for you to say what your first experience with Clan Tremere was. And we are going to start off with uh, Cyberbro. Why don't you give us an intro?
That that's me. Hello, I'm Cyberbro. Um, yeah, my first experience with Clan Tremere, honestly, is this game. I am very new to Vampire the Masquerade, so this game is my first experience with Clan Tremere and any vampires outside of Buffy and may God have mercy on me, Twilight.
I mean, it's going to be somebody's first experience. All right, wonderful. Up next, Zach, why don't you give us an intro?
All right. Well, hello. I'm Zach. I've been playing a lot of tabletop games for a lot of time. But I'm glad to be here. Glad to be playing a character that some people may recognize. I guess we'll get into that a little bit more later, but you may have seen him in the intro. But yeah, I've haven't played a lot of Tremere actually. Uh, fairly new, so maybe just like a year or two of playing the clan before. So relatively new, and it's very interesting clan.
Very nice. And I'm excited to see what happens to Hasib this time around. It's gonna be a fun time. Next up, Ree, why don't you introduce yourself? Give us your intro.
Hi everyone, I'm Ree. Um, I am super excited to be streaming Vampire the Masquerade. I am normally on here streaming with Mortal Rolls, a Pathfinder game. First time on doing this with vampires. I've played a lot of vampires. My first experience with Tremere. Well, anyone who knows me knows that I like to make tragic backstories for my characters. Cults are like a theme, so the Tremere have that built in essentially, so that's kind of perfect already. They're also kind of witchy, so the first character that I made for Clan Tremere was actually it was a game where we were playing in the past. So it was someone who was essentially a witch during witch trials and was turned to avoid being burned. And that was the character. Um, Super excited to be playing a more modern one.
Very nice. And I'm sure we'll have no witch burnings for most of this game. uh, with that, up next, Emily, why don't you give us your intro?
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm playing Kess Price, and my first experience was during full lockdown during 2020 is when I started playing VTM. I was like, "Ooh, this sounds pretty cool. Let's play one that can do blood magic. And I have only played not a Tremere once since. So I've stayed pretty darn loyal to Tremere since I started. So I'm super excited for just a Tremere game.
Very nice. All right. And last but certainly not least, Bob, why don't you give us your introduction?
Hi everyone, Taking Time Bob here. I've been playing Vampire the Masquerade for way too long. My very first character was named Magnus, and he was a Tremere, and he lasted 2 episodes before he tragically died. So since then, I've mostly dealt with the Tremere as like NPCs for games I've run. I think I've played maybe 1 or 2 more over the years, but still has a place in my heart. Yeah, Rip Magnus. But yeah, looking forward to the game, and we do a lot of Pendragon on my stream over at Taking Time Bob Gaming with a lot of the folks here. So all these folks are friends, and looking forward to the game.
Oh yeah. So excited, guys. The energy is palpable. I think with that, we could probably begin with some music to start with. If you're listening on the stream and you can't hear the music, please let me know. Otherwise, it's going to be very musicless. Just our lovely voices, but other than that, silence. Alright then. With that, just... The usurpers, the grey faces, the tremoring ones, the pyramid, bastards. There are many names and titles that have been given to the Tremere throughout the centuries. But there is one thing that has been concurrent through the entirety of the House of Tremere's existence. Power. The power to command the very world to their whim. To command the blood. To bind it. To chain it. To force it to do things that many other of the Canaanites would consider unnatural. But even with all that power, there is one thing that the clan of Tremere has always longed for. Legitimacy. For a clan without a true antediluvian would never truly be recognized by the others of vampiric society. That was until the mighty Lord Tremere himself took it up to strike down one of the greatest enemies the Canaanites had ever faced. Saulot, the Soul Eater. It was Tremere that struck him down and stole his power, marking the rise of the house and clan of Tremere. From there, and from its very inception, the pyramid has formed. A structure that ensures the strength and unity of the clan shall never falter. Bound in blood to each and every member that sits upon the very top. The Council of Seven. But as nights go on, structures tend to crumble. And often there are those who have wondered when it would be the pyramid's turn. For it did not fall with the rise of the ivory tower. Instead, it was strengthened, made stronger. But in modern nights, there are whispers, secrets that have yet to be unveiled, sins that have yet to be judged. And there is one thing in this world that you can be sure of. It is nothing is eternal. With that, we focus in on a street in the city of New Anghem. A street that to many others would not draw a lot of attention. For here they are old roads, still made from the cobblestones. But we focus in on a building, unassuming, between more buildings, old in their design, perhaps even from leftovers from when the first settlers came to these lands. But one of these buildings is not as it seems. For within a twisting labyrinth of magical, enchanted rooms that allow the safety and entry to only its most trusted. This is the Tremere chantry of this city. We focus in on a specific room. A room with a fire, slowly burning away with green flames, and what looks to be large couches and seating that have been set up in front of it. It is a lounge room. And within this lounge room, sits upon a small wooden stand, is a radio. A radio that splutters to life as a voice comes through. Good evening, my beautiful night owls. You've tuned into Caligula's Countdown, your late-night refuge as we huddle towards the turn of the millennium. That's right, it's June 18th, 1999, and we're only a few short months away from the big 2000. Y2K, baby! The world's losing its mind over what might happen when the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve. Will the lights stay on? Will our computers implode? Are we about to ride the wave of the apocalypse or just keep grooving like nothing's changed? Hell, who knows? But whatever comes, I'm here to keep you company, playing the hits of the 90s as we count down towards the unknown. It's a strange time, huh? Everyone's scrambling for answers. Well, I just want to kick back and lose myself in the music. Let the world spin as it may. So whether you're driving home after a long night, stuck in traffic, or just hiding from reality, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And with that, let's get into it. We're about to dive into something that'll make you feel everything. Fugues ready or not. Because no matter what happens, we're all just waiting for something, right? Alright, here we go. And with that, the smooth music begins to play as we focus in on an individual that is sitting within this room. Kess, why don't you introduce yourself and describe yourself as you are lounging within the lounge room?
So, Cass is a mid to late 20s looking man with grayish hair. Why he's grayed so early is up to anyone's guess. He is 6'3", so a very tall, lanky dude. While he is relaxing, he probably has his knees pulled up onto the seat in front of him, and is very quiet, does not make a lot of noise.
Alright. It is at this point the door to the lounge creaks open as another figure enters the scene. Hasib, why don't you introduce yourself and give a description for the lovely viewers?
All right. Well, walking in is perhaps someone on the opposite side of the height scale. Very, very short and just a bag of bones. Doesn't look a day over 20 years old. Hasib seems to fill out his form with perhaps too many dress shirts. He has slightly curled brown hair, and he typically has a bright and cheerful smile on his face. Right now, it's a little, not so much smile, a little furrowed as he's messing with a camcorder in his hands. It looks like he has it mostly apart, and he's digging into the insides. But as he steps through, with the his dress shoes that he perpetually wears, kind of clop onto the floor, and he looks around and he brightens immediately when he sees Kess and starts to walk over. He has tons of questions soon here, but perhaps we may be interrupted.
All right, Kess, you see the form of Hasib making his way towards you. How would you react?
Despite the fact that Kess does not breathe, his shoulders sag as if he just sighed very deeply. He kind of very slowly closes whatever book he was picking at, and just sets it down in anticipation of the ball of energy that has just walked into the room.
Kess, excuse me, do you have a minute for I was going over my camcorder here. I noticed that you have a few computer systems in your room here in the chantry. I have questions about that, but that can come after.
I'm not sure I can help with a camcorder. I'm not stellar at computers, Hasib. I just have a computer.
Well, that's okay. I mean, sometimes that's a lot better than most people. You know, they are. You can turn it on and everything, and I mean, depending on your operating system, might be. And Hasib looks down at his camcorder. Something fell out of it, and he kind of scrambles over. And as he goes to bend over and pick it up, his notebook that he usually keeps in his back pocket falls out, and he scrambles to get that as well.
Hasib, what do you need to know about the camcorder?
Oh, I was wondering, have you used camcorders a lot in the past? They are quite fascinating, even though my sire wasn't too much into all of these. We really should keep track of these things. You know, seeing with the masquerade and everything, it is quite easy for the kind to use this. And he like jiggles the camcorder, and another piece falls out, and he bends over to pick it up.
I wouldn't recommend filming anyone here. I don't think it'll go as well as you're hoping. I know absolutely nothing. I avoid cameras at all costs, frankly. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you should.
Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. Well, if you go into my room, I'm going to be asking. Maybe I should go to Jordi. See, because I was thinking of getting security cameras. You know, for more security, and he is, head of security. Well, not head of security, but he seems to be around security a lot.
Hasib, the filming any of us is they told you what the Masquerade is, right?
Of course, and Hasib Hasib smiles and nods like it's, it's one of the few things. He's only been here for roughly a little under a year, and it's quite well known that he is freshly embraced amongst the chantry. Yes, my sire has been quite diligent in those basics. I know we would have to store all kinds of this kinds of film if we were to film. I'm not saying that I have filmed anyone here, but it would all need protected, perhaps on a server that would, need certain security protocols.
I, you know what, Hasib? Yeah, ask Jordy. Yeah. It's-
Perfect. I'll let them know
planned.
that we're both interested.
No. Don't. I am
And
not
Hasib-
interested. I don't want.
Hasib's already walking away to go find Jordy.
Hasib, I'm forgetting my own character's name. Kesh just puts his head in his hands. Just in defeat.
With that, as we see Hasib walk out of the room, we follow his perspective as he goes around to attempt to find Geordie. However, he's not able to find Geordie. It seems Geordie is not in the chantry at this point in time. Which leads to the question, where is Geordie? Meanwhile, we cut to outside the chantry, as we see a silhouette in a flash of lightning, as it begins pouring down. Within this rainstorm, we see a figure making their way towards the chantry door. With that, Geordie, why don't you introduce and describe what you look like?
Jordy's dressed in a long, dark coat and has slacks on, some simple loafers at the moment. Not his usual wear. He makes his way to the door, a look of dissatisfaction on his face as he stops and looks over the place. Pauses and almost takes like a deep breath to himself, and then walks in.
I will say,
as far as looks, he's around 6'1". He's thinner, more thin than athletic, and he looks like someone that probably wouldn't smile at any good thing in life.
I will also add, as Geordie arrives at the front door, he looks down to see the lock on the front door that has been broken for the past 6 months is still broken.
With that, he makes his way in with his briefcase.
Alright. With that, we see Geordie step in as he opens the door in front of him that leads him into a large, opulent hallway. Takes a few steps down it before reaching the door at the very end, opening it up, in which it opens into what is a large foyer. The Tremere foyer. Inside, we see like a number of desks and tables that have been set up, and off to the side, a little room to itself that has like a little, I forget what you call, but like those window things they have at like banks. I forget what they're called, but you know what I mean. And what looks to be like some iron bars that allow you to look past to see there's like a bunch of equipment, tools, chairs, pretty much anything the chantry would normally need. And you see, just standing outside of it, with his back against the wall, the quartermaster.
Quartermaster Kabar.
We see the figure look to you. Dark hair, dark eyes, a long, dark trench coat, and a trademark cigarette in his hand. He looks over to you, nods, And he would say, "With
I trust everything went well while I was away.
something like that." Turns around, looks over to the front desk where the large bulletproof glass window is, and picks up a stack of papers. Turns around to hand it to you.
A look of frustration forms on Jordy's face as he looks over the list. Tell everyone we're meeting in a half hour. And with that,
All right.
he starts off.
"Oh, Jordy, where you go?" Reaches into his pocket and pulls something out. "This came in recently." As he hands a letter to you.
He takes the letter. Is it addressed?
It is not addressed, but it has a seal on it. "I need you to make me an intelligence occult, difficulty 7.
Right.
And as a note for specifically this game, there are no botches till I say they are. So ignore all botches for now. Ignore all botches for now.
All right, so that would be 2.
2 successes. You look down at it. The seal itself is most definitely a seal of Clan Tremere, depicting that this is from a member of the Tremere. And it doesn't look like the mark of an apprentice, an acolyte, a lord, or a pontiff. So it's someone very high up.
He'll go and basically change as he's kind of drowned right now from the rain. Then he's going to make his way to find the regent.
All right. It is with that, as we see Geordie walking down the halls, our camera stays in place for a moment, before turning itself down a different hallway. We arrive at a scene in which there are a hallway with a number of potted plants. Within this hallway, a figure stands with a watering can. Maruna, why don't you introduce yourself and describe yourself for our lovely viewers?
Maruna is, she looks very young, like probably 18, 19, dressed in sort of muted but variety of colors. She's standing there watering the plants with a kind of faraway look in her eye that she often has. Anyone that knows her would know that she's always kind of 2 places at once. And she is, as she often is, lost in her thoughts.
Very nice. As Maruner's in this state of staring into the proverbial abyss, we see another figure enter into the hallway. Dr. Quangle, why don't you give us a description and tell us about your character as he enters into this hallway?
All right, so the doctor entering into the hallway, he's a African American gentleman of 5'11", just right there at 6 foot, but just couldn't quite get it. He has a blue smoker's coat, some slacks, and nice fine loafers on. This is a man of comfort. However, he does have a stethoscope around his neck, kind of as a way to let people know that he's a doctor. He would
Very.
walk it. Oh, sorry. Please continue.
No, you please go ahead. Describe.
Okay. Yes. So he would walk lazily, very just at his leisure. He's not hurried. He's not rushed. He moves at one pace. Inevitability.
Very nice. With that, Dr. Quangle, you do see Maruna. Miruna. Maruna. You see Maruna standing in the hallway, seemingly going about her own business.
The doctor would speak up. Dear Maruna, it would appear that we find ourselves in the same hallway. How are you?
Hello, Dr. Quangle. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, sensational. Sensational. Now, I would hate to get right to business, but you've checked out a book from the library, and I'm going to need it back, or some sort of promise on when to return it.
Oh, I can go grab it now. It's in my room. Sorry, I should have kept better track. Just a sec. And she'll kind of look over the plant with kind of a dismayed expression.
Before
the
you
plant
go,
that she's watering. Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. Before you go, this plant, what's wrong with it?
I don't know. They're not. There's something wrong with them. The plants lately, like all of them, they're not. They're not growing right.
Now, I'm going to state the obvious here, and this is not a judgment on you or a joke or anything, but sunlight, generally plants require sunlight.
Yes, Dr. Quangle, I'm aware. It's not that. I think there's something coming.
Something coming.
It's a sign. I don't know what, but I know it's something.
I see. You have 48 hours to return the book. You don't have to return it now. Hopefully, its contents will lend you some assistance in this matter. Immediately is on my timeline.
I understand. Within 48 hours, you got it.
No worries, no worries.
Anything I can do for you?
No, nothing. Tell me about this one. Tell me about your plants.
And she'll kind of walk you through a series of plants that she has. They're all in various states. They look like they're kind of wilting. She's got some variety of herbs that you would know would be used as components, particularly for some types of spell work, as well as some more ornamental looking flowers. They're stationed by the structure they're in is almost like a greenhouse, but the shutters can close for protection. Of course, it's nighttime right now, so it doesn't matter. But she'll walk you through and just say, see, it's not. They were fine. They were fine a few weeks ago.
Yes, this is quite an issue. Well, make sure you bring it up at the next meeting so everyone's informed. I am not an expert in botany, as you know.
You are an expert in lots of other things, Doctor.
No, well, yes, I am.
Do you kind of look around? Do you feel it?
I think the doctor would close his eyes. Cyberbro would ask Mark, "Do I feel it?"
Make a perception occult difficulty 9.
All right. Perception, occult, difficulty 9. Okay. I suppose I don't feel it.
Again, as you're kind of closing your eyes to focus on what you might be talking about, nothing particular comes to mind.
No. Whatever this is, it is beyond me. Such is life, I suppose.
Just be careful. Okay.
And you too. And you too.
I always am.
Mm.
Well, usually.
Right, as much as any of us can be careful. Here, at least.
How about you? What have you been working on? Anything new?
Oh, various things and such. I am trying to institute the Dewey Decimal System in the library. It has proved to be quite the task. Update our books on occult medicine. A lot of references to leeches and whatnot. And, well, I don't think I have to tell you. In your living years before you were embraced, I'm sure you were not treated for the common cold with leeches. So
That
we are.
would certainly be a little bit out of date based on my very limited but my understanding of medicine.
Yes, it would be. So, as keepers of knowledge and lore, we have to make sure that we are updating ourselves on growing trends in the waking world.
Well, just let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I like the library.
Quite. I suppose with that, the good doctor would leave Maruna to her tending of plants and for Jordy. He'd look for Jordy. He's making the round. The good doctor's making the round.
Alright. With that, as Geordie's name is once again invoked, we cut to Geordie standing outside of 2 large, heavy doors. Geordie, you are well aware of what is on the other side of these doors. And I imagine you take a minute to compose yourself for open.
And then he would knock.
As he knocks on the door, there is a few seconds of silence before the doors creak open on their own. Inside is the office of the Regent. A large, beautifully carved desk sits at the end of the room, with a beautiful chair, equally well carved, behind it. There are a number of papers and documents and books littered across the top. However, instead of sitting in the usual position as the regent is, he is standing over what looks to be a large mirror that he is currently using a strange-looking knife to carve symbols into the corner of into the sides of them. He looks up towards you as we see the messy blonde hair and spectacled figure of the regent, Mr. Let me get his name right. Adrian Carr. Ah, Geordie, you're back.
Regent Carr.
How was Detroit?
Everything went as planned.
I see. That he looks back to the mirror and continues carving the strange symbols into it.
Jordy has his briefcase in one hand, and in the other, he's got a loose piece of paper and an envelope. And he moves to take the piece of paper that's loose and kind of awkwardly put it in the same hand as the briefcase. And then holds the letter high in the air and says, "The letter you've been expecting has arrived."
Immediately stops mid-carve as he stands up, walks over to you, reaches out to take the letter from your hand. You watch as he breaks the seal, opens it up, and then looks after it. Looks at the writing. It takes him about 30 seconds before he seems to acknowledge you once again. Good job, Geordie. Well done. Tucks it away. Now then, and he goes over and returns to carving new symbols into the mirror. I want you to get everyone, ready everyone to meet here in about 15 minutes. I have some important things I must say before I leave, after which I will be back in 4 hours. Exactly. Ensure that everyone returns here again at that time. It is very important that everything goes as planned. Ensure that everything that needs to be cleaned up is done within the time you have. And with that,
Yes,
you watch as the light above you, the light bulb that hangs above you, flickers. And then returns back to light as he looks up and goes, and get someone to fix that light bulb. It's been bugging me all night.
Very well, sir.
Good.
And with that,
You're dismissed
he'll,
for now.
Wait to be dismissed.
Yeah.
Well, hearing that, he steps back and exits out of the room.
Alright then. I think with that, we see Geordie stepping out of the room and begin to make his way down the hall, before the door in front of him opens up, and Dr. Quangle steps forth.
Dr. Quangle?
Jordy. Good to see you.
He keeps walking, almost past Dr. Quangle. He says, "Tell everyone we're meeting in 15 minutes at the Regent's office."
Sensational. Another meeting, Jordy. Another meeting. I will, but Dr. Quangle will start walking with Jordy in a huff, because he's gonna have to keep up with Jordy's pace. So, by the way, Jordy, there's some business I must discuss with you first. Of particular importance is book, potentially more, missing from the library.
Yes, I've seen the report.
Yes. Do you know anything about this, Jordy?
I intend to get to the bottom of it. But right now, the Regent's matters are pressing.
Hmm. Quite. Well, I would ask that if you do have any knowledge of any books in your possession, we forget things from time to time.
I
Happen.
don't, Dr. Quengle. I don't forget.
Mm. Right. So, we forget things from time to time. If you happen to find it, please bring it back to the library.
With that, he'll kind of nod in acknowledgement and then carry on.
And the good doctor will go around to let everyone know that we have a meeting.
Do you have any idea what it's about?
No, as you're more than likely aware, Geordie has one setting. It's crisis. So, could be something benign, but it's a crisis to Geordie. It's okay.
What happens when there's a real crisis?
The doctor will go silent for a second, thinking about his next words. Well, we'll have to see, I suppose. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
A real crisis. And Hasib turns the corner, being rather perceptive. Well, are we preparing like for emergency exits in case of fire? This kind of thing. I feel like we should have those every so often. We had them in school and in college.
Yes, fire drills. I actually think that you should bring that up at the meeting, Hasib. That's very important. Fire
I'll
safety.
write it down. Yes.
Yes. Also, Hasib, since I have you here, you are in the possession of a number of books from the library.
Hasib kind of blinks and bites his lip for a second as he scratches his head. Yes, that is true. I do have a number of them. Are they? I have had one or two or five that perhaps are overdue. I should get that back, right?
Yes, you should get that back. The one, the two, or the five, or potentially more books that you have. You should get that back.
Right.
24 hours. You have 24 hours, Hasib.
Of course, Dr. Quengle. I apologize. I will keep better notes in the future for the return times and try to be a bit more prompt.
Oh, the doctor will put his hand on Hasib's shoulder. No need to apologize. The quest for knowledge is all encompassing, and it what makes us who we are. It's just that you need to respect everyone else's access to the library. Other people want to read.
Of course. I can't wait to see. Maybe me not returning the books that has left others unable to study with those books. I don't want to stop others from their own studies and experiments. Hey, by the way, do either of you? And he kind of looks down the hallway towards where he left Kess. I forgot to ask Kess, but does anyone here speak French? The language.
I don't speak it, but I'm sure there's a book on it. Do you need to translate something?
I do, but it will have to come later. We have the meeting, right? But yes, Baruna, I would appreciate it if I could have some assistance.
Yeah, of course.
Point of order, Hasib. You can't check out any more books until you return the ones you already have.
Right. I will do the returning first. Of course.
Let's go find Kess. Come along now. And the doctor trots off towards Kess.
Oh, so
she'll hold on.
you can go on.
She'll follow along. She'll hang back a little bit with Hasib, I think. And she'll just say, like, while they're back a little bit, she'll just say, "Do you remember anything yet?"
Hasib's like furiously scribbling in a little notebook, some notes. He blinks away from his concentration and looks over. Do I remember? And he blinks again, clearly not on the same wavelength.
About school, about what happened.
Oh, right. Well, Hasib tenses for a second. What the events that's as you described them. I know. Which is surprising. I have a quite a keen memory, but no. Have you? Do others who would know? You know these things that you have told me.
I mean, probably the. Chelsea. Chelsea was in our class. You could ask her. I'm sure there are others. I mean, I don't know how to get in touch with them, but I know that there are others.
Oh, I remember Chelsea quite well. But Nasib looks a little uncomfortable. But no, I still don't. I don't remember you being there as well.
It's okay. It'll come back. It has to. Eventually. It's okay. Things are gonna change soon. And she'll just walk off.
And Nasib will kind of like whisper change, just not really sure what that meant. He'll blink a few more times, then go back to scribbling new notes in his notepad that fills up quite quick. But I'm assuming that we eventually make it back into what was the room that Kess was in, or wherever Kess was at.
The lounge. Before we do,
lounge.
we'll cut to Geordie arriving to see Kess first. As Geordie enters the lounge room.
Mr. Price,
With? What can I do for you?
you've heard we're to meet with the Regent.
All right. And he'll close the book again that he was reading and kind of put it in a bag, in a messenger bag next to him. Anything I should be worried about?
No.
That's what I like to hear, at least. All right. Let's go. And I'll walk with Jordy to the meeting.
Alright.
Oh, and Mr. Price, could you please ensure that your shirt is straight before you see the Regent?
I think about as much sass as you see Kess give, he gives in a look to Jordy. He's in a jacket and a normal t-shirt and beat up jeans. It's not anything that straightens, so he subconsciously kind of moves it, but then just kind of looks at Jordy and starts walking.
You might consider upgrading your wardrobe as you advance in age.
Well, I appreciate the advice, Whip. I am quite happy with my wardrobe the way it is.
He leaves it at that.
Yep. Silent walking.
All right, then. With that, we see you all arrive at the office of the Regent.
Upon seeing Kess, Quangle would chuckle, look at Hasib and Maruna, and say to Kess, Kess, hello. Jordy would like me to inform you that there's a meeting at the Regent's office.
At which point Geordie
Kes-
rounds the corner.
Kes just
Following
raises
Kes.
his hand and just kind of in the direction that Jordy's in.
The doctor looks at Jordy. Jordy, your message was given to all relevant members. The task is complete.
Very well. And with that, he kind of keeps moving. He doesn't ever slow down, so he continues right past towards the Regent's office, planning to be there roughly 10 minutes early, standing outside.
Hasib, when he sees Jordy, he lights up a little bit. He tries to further tuck in his collared dress shirt, but it's already very tucked in. Jordy, sir, after the meeting, perhaps, Cass and I were wondering if you...
Right.
Not now, Magister Visa.
Later then. Thank you.
The doctor would look to Kess. Dear Kess, we have some business. There's a book you have from the library.
I'll return it to you promptly. I apologize for the delay. There's a tricky bit of translating to do.
No worries. The pursuit of knowledge is what makes us who we are. He says that looking at the other members there, Hasib and Maruna. 24 hours, return the book, check in, and we can sign it out again. That goes for everyone here. Even you, Jordy.
Offers no response.
You got
At
it,
which
doctor.
point, the doors open upon their own. As within the room stands the Regent, next to what looks to be a large mirror with strange symbols carved into the sides. Looks to you all as you step in.
The doctor will take his seat.
I wish to hold on. Gotta do this, right?
Nice.
I wish to inform you all that I'll be traveling to an important meeting of the clan. Know that during the time I will be away, the whip shall be in charge. Ensure that you follow all his orders to the letter. It is very important that upon my return, everything is in its place. We may have a very important guest coming by, and if anything is wrong, I will find the one who is responsible. And so help me, I will find a place for you in the most unpleasant chantry I can possibly find. Am I clear?
Crystal?
Good. With that, he goes over to the desk and picks up a briefcase before walking over to the mirror and tapping it with his knife. As he does, you watch as the mirror begins to bend and shift, as if it had become water. With that, he turns to you and says, "Oh, and there is one other thing. There is supposed to be a event happening at the local Elysium, the Black Swan Theatre. I want some of you to attend and take notes. Apparently the prince has an important announcement. But I expect to see all of you returned here in 4 hours. I will not accept any late shows." With that, you are dismissed. Good night. And with that, he steps through the mirror, it parting like the rippling of water as he disappears into his own reflection. You watch as the mirror continues to wave like a pool of still water before it slows and returns back to the reflection.
Question. Was the quartermaster there?
He was, yes.
Okay.
Joey... let me get his name. Kabar. Joey Kabar.
Gotcha. At that point, Quengle would look to everyone. The timeline has unfortunately moved up on your books. Please return them as soon as possible. That goes for everyone. I do apologize, but immediately means immediately.
Before anyone leaves, we have some matters to discuss. Now, I think I made it clear, Quartermaster, that there were a number of items that needed to be resolved in a short time.
I did what I could, but you gotta address that to them. As he looks to everyone else in the room as he takes another drag off his cigarette.
Miss Zeldzen, my understanding is you're the head of security. And yet, when I arrived back here today, the lock that's been broken for weeks remains broken.
The other member of the chantry, her name is Karen Zelson. She is a loner, one who keeps to herself. Long, dark, raven hair, and an attitude to match. She simply looks to you and goes, "Well, I had other requirements that were given to me by the Regent, so unfortunately I couldn't take care of such unimportant business."
Of course. Well, now that can change, as I'm acting regent. You will do so immediately, and for the time being, your rights to leave the chantry are revoked.
Narrows her eyes at you. Very well, Whip.
Acting regent.
Acting Regent.
Good. He flips through his clipboard that's now in front of him, and he looks through the list. And he says, Miss Mezzy,
Yes.
my understanding is you were left to tend to the plants, so could you explain to me why some of the plants seem to be dying?
Because something's wrong.
Clearly. Your rights are revoked for the weekend, unless you are able to restore the plants to their place. You can leave to feed, or upon specific orders of the acting regent.
There's There's something you don't understand. There's something wrong. It's bigger than the plants. It's bigger than all of this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't believe me.
There are many pressing matters, Miss Mezzi. If you have anything concrete, be sure to raise it to us.
I understand.
Dr. Quengle, you'll be
Oh.
accompanying me to Elysium for the matter of the prince. But before you go, I want you to assign someone to retrieve all the books that have been absent from the library. As noted, the Regent wishes to see everything in tip-top shape for the guest that will be arriving.
Jordy, this can be arranged. However, your current order and the Regent's last order conflict. In particular, Maruna was told just now by yourself to figure out what's going on with the plants. Now, I don't think she can do that without, well, without the book she has. Are you giving conflicting orders with the Regent, Jordy?
The report says that there are books missing, not books absent. Do you have books missing, Dr. Quengle?
A few books were checked out, but have not been returned. I have spoken to the individuals. They will be returning them. No need to, well, put anyone out there. Privacy is important.
Of course. I'll leave it to you then.
I think the doctor would pointedly look at Hasib like, okay, dude, like, don't bring no books.
Hasib's been a little obsessed at looking in the mirror. He has his focus split both ways. But this topic, he's kind of raised his hand a couple times and then brought it back down. But now he has his hand up.
Magister?
Yes, Sir Whip. May I ask if you are deciding on who goes to the Black Swan, the Elysium event? Could I perhaps be among the number? I have not had many opportunities to go to Elysium.
Typically, Elysium and important events, Magister, are left to those senior and high-ranking, those who have proven themselves capable in social scenarios. That does involve knowing when to stop asking questions, Magister.
Oh, yes. And Hasib nods like he's an expert at such a thing. Right, I have been doing some studies on the matter since it has been pointed out to me that this is important by a fair few, or actually many people. I think I have studied quite well on it, hopefully. If you think I am ready, of course, Sir Whip.
There's almost like a look of uncertainty on his face, which usually isn't there, and he says, "Very well. You can accompany Dr. Quengle and I."
First, all the books must be returned, everyone. Not calling anyone out individually. Or accounted for leaving.
I will get you mine as soon as possible. I will run there, quite literally, before we leave for Elysium.
Excellent. Quartermaster Kabar, I'll leave you with the duty of seeing that everything that's been identified here is looked after. And in case I forgot to mention it, your rights to leave the chantry are revoked until you do so.
Great.
With that, Jordy will exit and say, I'll go and prepare myself for Elysium then.
As you say so, the light bulb in the room above flickers once more.
Can someone please look after that light while the regent's away?
I can fix it.
With that, he gives a nod to Kess and then continues on, leaving everyone else behind to talk shit about him if they want.
Yeah, as soon as he steps out of the room, Maruna will kind of just like let out a frustrated sigh. Well, guess we all have our designated assignments then.
Cass reaches up and tries to tighten the bulb to see if that fixes the flickering.
Tighten the bulb. It then flickers once again.
I just take it out. He looks at the quartermaster. Do we have more light bulbs?
Probably.
Do you mind if I accompany you to see what we have?
Alright. I got other stuff I need to attend to, so let's make it quick.
Yep, absolutely.
That he steps
Have
out
fun,
of the room.
everyone. Cass is gonna
Guys-
follow him. He just kind of waves.
As
Mm,
he
the bo-
waves happily, but doesn't leave the room as he turns to those who have perhaps not escaped his questioning. How did the regent do that? Did you guys see that? The way I have with the mirror, he stepped through it. It's like it was a doorway.
Yeah, it's magic. I'm sure you'd be able to do it someday. You always learn really fast, so
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, the regent is quite powerful, right? He is in charge of this chantry, but perhaps one day we'll all have our own chantries and the like. If that is the way it goes, we live forever, right? So
yeah, something like that. I think so. Well, I have to go return my book, so I'll be in my room if anyone needs me.
I will be at the library desk, Hasib. Before you can run a chantry, you must return your books.
right, that is probably one of the rules of opening and running the chantry. I will practice right now. And before I go, Maruna, do you think perhaps when I am at Elysium, there may be another expert in all things plants and greenery? Maybe I could ask around.
I would appreciate that if you happen to find someone. That'd be great. Do you need help getting? I've seen the pile of books under your bed. Do you need help carrying them?
He scratches the back of his neck. I would appreciate that. Yes, it would take me a couple trips alone.
So you want to come with me? I'll grab mine, and then we'll go grab the rest of yours and bring them back promptly to the good doctor.
Sounds like a
Sensation.
wonderful plan.
Well, at that, I think the doctor would leave to the library, check in with everyone. So yeah, he goes to the library and he's behind the desk.
That's it. I think with that, we're going to take a short break. We hope, to our viewers, I hope you've been enjoying the show so far. And I hope you're excited for more once we come back from the break. During the break, I'm going to play the trailer probably 2 times. We'll see how many times. I gotta grab like a drink of water and some stuff. I also just want to say, because I'm going to do this at the break and also at the very end, a big, big, big thank you to Ree for helping so much in the creation of this lovely background that you see on stream, as well as the creator of all these lovely character portraits. So I just want to say a big thank you to Ree, and I want our audience to do the very same. In fact, I demand it. But yes, with that, we will be going to a break, and we will see you in like 2-3 minutes. And we are back! Hello, and welcome back to our lovely episode of House of Tremere. This is our first episode. If you're just joining us, welcome, and enjoy. With that, we are going to pick up where we left off, starting off with those who are currently gathering books to be returned before Dr. Quangle leaves. So, who's got books? Alright then. Is there any other things you'd like to go through during the time when you're collecting the books, or do you simply grab them and then return them?
I have some stuff and some things.
Alright then. We cut to Kes. What is Kes up to while organizing the books?
Kess is getting the light bulb first and foremost from the
Oh,
quartermaster, but while he's there, he's going to like. Kess also smokes, so he's also smoking. He's like trying. I assume at some point these two have given each other cigarettes, or like this is where Kess gets his.
Probably.
And he'll kind of lean on the counter. I was wondering if I could grab a few things while I'm here.
What do you need?
Well, pack of cigarettes, normally. And do you have parchment paper and some kind of glue?
Make a... Charisma and expression. Standard diff.
Okay.
And its standard diff is
Alright.
6.
It's a little tricky because if I remember correctly, my rolling thing is different.
It should work if you click on your token. I think we managed to fix it.
Oh.
You click on the button, yeah, on your token, and there should be a thing that pops up. And one of them says roll dice.
Yep, I got it. Oh, this is gonna go so great. Sorry, there's so many things.
Yeah, there's a few things to click past. Because there's a lot of conditions in Vampire.
Yep. Oh, that's better than I thought.
Alright. 1 success. Looks for a moment before going. What do you need it for?
I ripped something of mine and I would like to fix it in an appropriate way, but
Guess I don't really care. Alright, is there anything else?
no, just those. If we have it glue-wise, the liquid plastic kind of stuff that bonds really well.
Let's see what we got in the back. And then he steps into his little office area.
He'll kind of call back. Do you want me to get you anything from outside? I seem to have been the only one that's not grounded.
He like sticks his head out the door and he goes, "Cigarettes. I'm running low.
Any particular brand?
Could not give a shit."
Cool.
With that, he goes into the back warehouse area. About 5 minutes go by before he eventually returns. With everything that you asked for in a little cardboard box.
Thank you. I'll get you your cigarettes as soon as I make it to the corner store.
Just do it within the next couple nights. I only got a few packs left.
Oh yeah, if I can do it tonight, I'm doing it tonight. So we'll see. I seem to be the only one that doesn't have plans. So well,
Alright.
have a good night. He'll wave and
You
make
too,
his way down the
Cass.
hallway.
You too. As we watch him finish his cigarette, drop it on the ground and step on it before returning back to the warehouse to do inventory. We then cut to everyone arriving at the library with their books in tow.
The doctor is behind the desk. There is a bell. He's lazily flipping through a book, waiting.
Maruna has her single book that she had checked out, and then she has an armful of probably half of Hasib's books. I imagine he's carrying the rest in both arms.
Hasib has fished out one of his old backpacks from college, and has filled that up, and then has his arms full. He's a pretty skinny guy, and he shaking a little bit, carrying just this. All right, here we are, Dr. Quackle. Sorry, we need to check these in, and then I suppose after the events, probably check out again one or two. Still using these, but you know how it's all the process, right?
At the mention of processes, the doctor points to the little bell.
Hasib looks at it with his arms full, and he
Maruna leans over and taps the bell.
Sensational. Yes, Hasib, Maruna. Amazing that you all here. Now, put the books in the return pile, please.
Go. She put hers down. The other one's
Right.
down.
Hasib will put them down. He'll open up his backpack and start pulling them out and setting them into a neat little pile.
Good. So, I'll wait. Someone's missing. Where's Kess?
With that, we
Cass
cut to
kind of-
Cass.
Hello. Cass is. How long is this from me getting my light bulb and assorted other things?
Probably like a few minutes later, if not.
Oh, he's not there yet.
Okay. In that case, we cut away to Cass. What is Cass up to?
Cass is not currently repairing the light bulb. Cass is currently in his room, with parchment paper, some liquid plastic, a toothpick, and a hairdryer. And though it sounds like a game of Clue, Cass is currently very meticulously fixing a very fine rip in a page. Of
With
a book.
that, why don't you make me a wits and craft?
Oh no, you had to put craft in there, didn't you?
Of course I did.
So it's just wits. Let's be honest, it's just wits.
Is it time for our first botch?
Complete success. I got 3 successes.
3
Oh.
successes.
All 3 of them succeeded.
Yeah. With that, as you're putting it together, by the time you're done, you can barely tell there was a rip there.
Well, the hair dryers just speed up with cold air, speed up the drying process so that I'm not sitting up here for an hour.
Oh,
So
it takes you
however
about
long that
like
takes
5
him-
minutes. Not too long,
Okay,
actually.
cool. Yeah, as soon as he's sure and like 1,000% sure that it's not sticky anymore, so when he closes it, it's not gonna like absolutely massacre it. Then he'll take the book along with the light bulb that he has to go replace and kind of make his way to the library.
Right, and then as you're like asking about where else is Kess, about half a minute comes by before the door opens up and Kess enters into the library.
Holds up the book.
The doctor points at the bell.
He'll walk up and he'll hit the bell and he'll put the book on the counter. Doctor, I wonder if you might let me check it out again, like we discussed.
Yes, yes, and that goes for everyone here. You can check your books all out. We just have to have an account for them. We don't want Jordy sulking around the chantry.
Oh, perfect. And Hasib eyes a couple books that he's already.
Not yet.
Marona
Oh.
gently suggests maybe you just check out the ones that you were in the middle of reading, and then you can always come back for the others later.
Right. Thank you, Marona. Plus, I can't waste too much time. I have to get going soon. But maybe I'll just a few, if that's okay, Dr. Quangle. Just like 2 or 3, to recheck out.
The doctor pulls out like a large tome and starts writing down books and to whom they're going to. You see, processes is not a bad thing. All right, the books are accounted for.
I will say it's going to actually take you a lot longer to account for all the books. You come to the realization that you have to make a choice on whether you're actually going to go through and make sure all these books are accounted for, or if you're going to go to the Elysium with Jordy, like he asked.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, this is going to have to stay undone until you return.
Maruna, you don't plan on leaving, do you?
I've been expressly banned from doing so, so no.
Well, how fortuitous from you. I need a favor. Can you account for these books, annotate them, and put them back in their proper places for me?
Of course.
I would like to
No
check,
worries.
out of character, when you say favor, is this a boon, or is this just an unregulated favor?
I would say unregulated favor because it's not like I'm asking for something major. I'm just like, hey, put these books up for me.
All right.
And the doctor would offer, and if you want something from the outside, I'll go purchase you something. If you, I don't know.
Thanks. I'll think about it. I'll let you know.
No worries. I do appreciate your assistance in this. I really do.
Maybe some new seeds.
New seeds. Okay. He pulls out a piece of paper. All right. What type of seeds?
And she'll jot down a few notes of a few different herbs.
Okay. The doctor has them.
Great.
The word seeds kinds of catches Hasib's ear as he was jotting notes down, as he usually does when he's not paying too much attention. And he gives Maruna a look, perhaps he's off to the side, and he taps a particular book from the pile. He stacked of returned ones, and nudges it a little bit out of the pile, so it's a little crooked, and he gives a smile. Right, we should get going, Dr. Quengle.
Yes, we should. Let's go find Jordy. I'm sure he's skulking somewhere.
Have fun at Elysium.
We definitely will do, Cass, and we need to talk more about the security cameras when we get back, and we have to talk to Jordy.
With
I'm sure,
security.
but you don't want to be late, right?
Yes, Hasib, don't be late.
Right. Thank you again. I will start running now, and Hasib literally starts running to go get supplies and stuff for the trip.
As soon as they're gone, Maruna's gonna kind of peek at the book that Hasib kind of pushed out.
Alright.
What
As you look down,
is it?
It is a book that does not have a title. The front page is like a leather-bound blank book. It
Just
looks
gonna-
old.
Pull it out and open it.
As you open up to the first page, you can see that it reads. Actually, that's right. This book does not have a title. As you open it up, it appears as in a good chunk of this book is written in French. Why don't you make me an intelligence academics?
Intelligence and what?
Academics.
Okay.
This will be difficulty 7.
Second. Could I? Two things. One, I'm struggling to find where I can actually click to make my roll.
You should be able to click on your token.
Okay.
And one of the options
We have
will
a
roll
custom
dice.
dice roll.
Yeah.
Cool. Got it.
Courtesy of Bob.
Thank you for that.
It's long. It's gonna ask you like 9 things, but it at least
Okay.
guides you through it.
Could I ask, Kess is still there. Could I possibly ask Kess for help for a bonus?
Does Kess help?
She would just say, hey, I know I don't want to take up too much of your time, but would you mind maybe taking a quick look at this with me? It's in French.
I don't know French, but I can try. Yeah, I can try. If in exchange, can you check my book back out first, please? I don't want to wait until the end of the. He just
Yeah.
side glances to the pile of Hasib's books.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it now.
Okay.
Alright. In that
Yeah.
case, how many points in academics do you have? Kess?
I have, and I can. One.
One.
I'll take it.
Got one whole
Alright.
point.
You could have 1 extra dice, and I will lower the difficulty to 6.
Okay.
As teamwork makes the dream work. A moderate success. 2 successes. As you're looking through, this is certainly an older form of French. From what you seem to be finding, maybe 10th century. a lot of the writings themselves, it appears to be some sort of history book, chronicling the rise of the clan of Tremere and the House of Tremere from a house of mages within the Hermetic Order to a clan of great vampiric power. However, as you look deeper into it, it seems it's more than just a chronicled history. There is some parts of it that seem to go into the inner workings of the Tremere Vitae, the blood, and the power and the thaumaturgical power and its possible origins. However, that's about as far as you can get before it gets a lot more complicated and the terms get a lot more archaic and harder to figure out exactly what they mean. There's only one word that you see happen a lot later in the book that is translatable. The French word proceed.
Proceed.
Yep.
Interesting. I see. Interesting.
Did you get what you wanted?
Sort of. Thanks.
Yeah. I'll be back for the book in a minute. I have to go. He
Okay.
holds up the light bulb.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you in a bit. And I'm going to go replace the light bulb.
All right. I think with that, we are going to cut away to Geordie as he stands at the foyer of the Tremere chantry and waits for Dr. Quangle and Hasib, who are late. Definitely later than you expected them to be. Go ahead.
Can I propose one thing before I do that I think
Of
he would
course.
have done? So, I think he's in the regent's office at this point, just making sure that he's about to lock the doors, having forgotten that he assigned Kess to deal with the light bulb. And as he's kind of getting ready to do so, the curiosity gets the better of him, and he walks over to where the prince was carving, where the regent was carving, to see what that was. That seems out of his usual, to say the least. Then again, walking through mirrors also is a new thing to him. So
make an intelligence occult, difficulty 8.
a sec. Oh, nice. 3 successes.
3 successes. You are looking at this mirror, seeing its many symbols that have been carved in. Many of them look to be alchemical in nature. Different, strange, like occult symbols that represent different elements and powers and things like that. But then you notice one of them that's sitting at the very top. It's a 6-pointed star that you recognize as the Star of David. However, it has a circle around it, quantifying it as the seal of Solomon. That is odd. That's normally used in, like, I forget the name of the specific type of sorcery. But it's often connected to such ideas such as the Book of Solomon, message was. A book of demons. Supposedly the mark is a sign of protection, but possibly a sign of control. It's odd to say the least, compared to all the other symbols.
I think I'll just look at it for a little while. If you want to have Cass reach here, that could happen.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, as you're like reaching forward or, inspecting the mirror, the doors open as Kess steps inside holding a light bulb.
Oh,
Am I interrupting, Jordy?
no, I was just You're
It's
here for the
all-
light bulb.
Yes. Do you...
Right.
Do you want help?
He raises a brow and looks to you.
He gestures to the mirror.
I should be going. He reaches for his key ring and takes off the key he has for the regent's office and hands it to Cass and says, be sure that this finds its way to the head of security when you're done. And be careful. With that, he walks away.
At that point,
As he's
the light
walking
bulb
away,
flickers.
As he's walking away, Kes just after him kind of says, I never saw you here. And then sighs and reaches up and takes out the light bulb and puts the new one in.
As you do, putting the new one in, clicks into place, it flickers.
Curses, gets a chair, and starts messing with to see why it's happening.
Alright. With that, we cut back to the entranceway where Geordie is ready. As the Dr. Quangle and Hasib arrive.
Jordy looks at both of them to make sure everyone's Elysium fit. No holes in jeans, no looking the part of a Bruja. With that, he nods. All right then. With that, he'll turn and start to head out. Actually, one thing you do note with him is he has an umbrella in his hand. So he opens up the door to see if it's still, in fact, raining.
Roll me a d10. Tell me high or low.
High, 8.
Did you say that before or after you rolled?
Oh, you wanted me to call it?
Yeah,
and then
I want
roll?
you to call it before you roll.
I thought you.
No.
Yeah, I
you
didn't
call
do
it
that. Yeah. I will say high. 9.
Yeah. So I'll say in that case, it is raining.
Right. He'll step out enough to open up the umbrella,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'll start his way towards the car. It's probably parked on the street.
Yeah.
The doctor will look to Hasib. Hasib, go and run along and grab 2 umbrellas, please.
Hasib is kind of putting pens and a notebook in a pocket and fiddling with it, and he nods and runs off as he hears the pattering of rain. And he'll come back as we probably keep those close to the door and hand one over. These are the ones I found. I didn't find that big one. I think the regent's, but we shouldn't take his.
Very astute, Hasib, very astute. Well, let us go after Geordie. And yeah, the doctor leaves.
Yeah, Hasib follows. He has a device in his hand as he goes. It looks like something small. But how are we getting there? In the Tremere bill or?
No, Jordy will be driving this time, and he drives. I'll just say, a Volvo feels very Jordy. I think he's driving an S70. Keep in mind it's 99, so it's, you know, it's a you're paying an extra price for the safety in the Volvo.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. The doctor would get into the back seat.
Yeah, Hasib into the doctor gets into the back seat.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, so is there a front seat available?
Should be 2 front seats.
Yeah.
Or does it hold that?
Is that a surprise for is that standard behavior for the doctor from what Jordy knows, since the two have probably been around each other a while?
Yeah, that's very standard behavior. The doctor usually gets in the back seat and says, "All right, Jordy, Elysium," something along those lines.
Hasib will look very surprised, but then eagerly jump into the front seat. Get buckled up like he's going on a road trip.
To the Elysium, Jordy.
He just looks back at the doctor and says, "I hope you enjoy your weekend privileges." With that, he'll start the vehicle and start in that direction.
Alright then. With that, it takes a bit of time, about an hour and 15 minutes, before eventually you arrive outside of the Black Swan Theatre. There is a valet standing outside. He waits for you as you drive up to the front.
He'll pull up, and I imagine this is standard procedure, or is this more fancy than usual? That's a good question.
No, this is standard procedure with the Elysium.
So he'll pull up and step out of the vehicle.
The
Uh,
doctor will wait. Well, sorry.
One quick thing, as we're pulling up, Hasib's going to raise up one of those one-use Kodak cameras, and just sort of, with a big smile on his face, take a picture of the building as we pull up. You hear that cranking sound as he slides the wheel or whatever, and he sets it down on the seat.
Dr. Quengle will look to Jordy and say, "Jordy, handle that, please."
Give me the camera.
Do you? Oh, sorry. Do you want to take pictures? I have a few left on this one.
Yes, I want to take pictures.
Of course. Here, Jordy. Here, Sir Whip. Here, and he'll hand it over.
He'll look to the valet, and he hands the camera to the valet, and he says, using command, "Destroy this."
It is
Hasib-
almost immediate as the valet drops it and crushes it under his foot.
Hasib is gobsmacked. His jaw just hits the floor. Wait! Wait! It's.
No photo evidence. None.
You see, but it is best for us to maintain privacy of this place. Now, I'm sorry Jordy had to do that, but you have to learn. You can't take pictures of places like this. Also, don't go in. When the regent says take notes, he doesn't mean physically. You don't want to take anything for some random mortal to pick up and start reading. And now we've got investigations and things along those lines. Take notes with your mind. Train yourself here to remember things.
Oh, seems a little looking out the window with some hope that perhaps the guy didn't stomp on it too hard. Right, I will leave my notebook in all these pens, and he like reaches in and has 4 or 5 pens. I will leave these here then. Okay. Sorry for keeping us. I'll need to get a new camera from the quartermaster sometime.
No, do not get a new camera from the quartermaster. You have no need for taking pictures.
But how are we supposed to know if they have guards out the front? You know, the ones hiding.
You look with your eyes. You can see more than a camera can. Believe in yourself.
You would be surprised. Anyway, sorry. Should we go?
I think the doctor's waiting for the valet to open his door.
The valet would open the door. Also, if you, they would also go to Julie and kind of hold up their hands, expecting the keys so that they can take the vehicle for you.
Yeah, after he's done destroying the camera, he'll do so.
Yeah. In that case, as you leave, the valet gets in the car and goes off to park it. With that, you step into the opulent Elysium. As you step inside, going first through a forum and then eventually into the theater itself, you can see that there are a number of individuals gathered around the main area where all the seats are. Numerous ghouls and kindred from around the city have gathered, waiting for whatever it is that they've been called for. You can see that there are 6, I forget what they're called, the big booths that are like up the top. Special name for the type of seating.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the name.
But there are
Mezzanine?
6 of them. Might be it. But there are 6 of them. 5 of which seem to be full and contain people within them. You would know these to be the seats of the Primogen. Whenever there is an event, whenever there is anything, the Primogen can always be seen up there, looking down on everyone. However, the booth that would normally contain your Primogen, aka your Regent, is empty. For obvious reasons.
Now, as Whip, technically, if I'm here in the absence of the Regent, of the Primogen, does that not allow Jordy to act in that place?
Absolutely. The question
And
is,
would it-
do you bring anyone else with you? Because you can. Or whether you leave them with all the rabble.
Yes, indeed. He absolutely will, because he's petty. So he turns and says, Hasib, how would you like to see the Primogen's seating?
That would be amazing. I would love the opportunity.
And with that, he'll nod and he gives I feel like Quangle and Jordy constantly give each other touche looks all the time as they pettily one-up each other, and I think he gives Quangle that look in return, and then walks off with Jordy, or with them. Sorry, with Hasib.
I think Quangle gives him back like, okay, you got me this time. And then he walks off the rough shoulders with the movers and shakers around town. Muttering, I didn't want to sit up there anyway.
Meanwhile, we see as Jordy and Hasib enter the box. That's what it's called, box seating. enter the opulent box where the Tremere regent would normally sit. Inside, there are a number of very well maintained seats and lighting specifically designed to enshadow those who are sitting back and bring and light up those who stand forward to look over the balcony, allowing a bit of anonymity to the guests of the regent. Not the regent, sorry, the primogen.
Now, each of these boxes is per primogen, is that correct?
Per
they're
primogen,
separate
yes.
boxes. Yeah. So it's just us two then up here.
Yep. With that, I'm forgetting the word for the curtain. There we go. The stage curtain rises as a figure steps out and speaks up. As we see the figure of the seneschal of the city, Louis Brand. We see a man of dark hair and bright green eyes. He stands regally and purposefully in his very, very nice suit. He looks around as he raises his arms to call attention to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen of the Camarilla, you have all been called here for an important announcement by the Prince. Please, take a seat. With that, he steps to the side as everyone takes a seat within their seatings. Except for, you notice all the primogens, who step forward and lean over their balconies. Each of them now alight so you can see their features, as they look down upon everyone below. We then hear the footsteps, hard shoes on wood flooring, as a figure steps out from behind the stage. Prince William von Bratt. The old aristocrat looks out on the people before him. Blonde hair, blue eyes. His hair is cut neatly, perfectly. There is something about him that is the pinnacle and picture of order. A man of great class as he looks out upon the people. The kindred, I should say. My subjects, I come to you with a very important notice. We have received guests to our city, and I would like to officially bid them welcome as members of our Camarilla. May I introduce to you the members of the Assamite clan. As stepping forth onto the stage is 3 individuals, each of them dressed in dark clothing. 2 of them wearing dark trench coats, and one of them wearing something far more traditionally Arabic. Something that certainly doesn't match the usual aesthetic. They step forward and bow their heads towards the prince, before rising as the prince turns out and says, "They may not be from this land, and they have traveled quite far to get here. But know that all will treat them as equal members of my city. They have earned the place they have gained here. With that, he looks around to see if there's anyone who speaks up. Do any of you react in any way? Knowing, you all know what the Assamites are. That's clear.
Mark, do we know anything about the state of the curse?
Yeah, that would be part of your education. Long time ago, the Tremere cursed the Assamites because they were horrific soul-eating monsters. So that they could no longer steal the blood of other kindred to use for their own nefarious purposes. It was a good thing that the Tremere did it, for the sake of everyone. But you would know that they are sworn enemies to your clan, and have been for a very, very long time.
I'm gonna roll something real quick. Jordy is real late to do this, like almost towards the very end, but he does stand up. Unless a botch counts, then he won't. I rolled courage on whether he's gonna speak up here. And I got a 1 and I got a 6. So if the 1 cancels out the 6, he won't stand up.
Botches don't count, so you can. You succeed.
My prince, as regent, as the regent car is absent today, I feel like I need to at least speak up in protest that one would invite our enemies into the city.
He simply looks up at you. And I think there's probably a part of you that wants to curl up and die. As he does. And he just says, "Your objection is noted."
He sits back down.
With that, he turns to everyone and says, "As well, I will be holding another Elysium soon. A time to truly meet with our fellow kindred. In these nights, things have grown more uncertain. They say that New York is currently in the midst of a great battle. But I know that the Camarilla will prove its superiority over the vile Sabbat. As we have pushed them from our own city, I know that they will do the same. The rest will be organized soon, and each of you will receive personalized invitation to the event. I hope to see you all there. Until then, I wish you all a good night. Till next time." And with that, he turns and leaves. And the seneschal steps up to take the place where he was standing and says, "The prince thanks you all for coming. Please leave in an orderly fashion. And if you have any questions, I shall be around to answer them." And with that, there's there is a sound of chatter exploding throughout the theater. Everyone's talking about what just happened. Many of them in anger, some of them in curiosity, and some of them seems to think that this is a good step forward towards a unity. After all, the Assamites are a powerful clan. It'd be great if they joined us. Nonetheless, it is discord and chaos, and Dr. Quango, you find yourself caught in the middle of it.
I think the doctor, seeing that it is chaos all around him is just sitting down, legs crossed, just waiting. If Jordy looked down at him as he was making the speech, the doctor was looking up quizzically, like, like, oh, Jordy. Like for a brief moment, just like they shared a moment, like, really, Jordy? But yeah, he's just sitting down, letting the chaos unfold around him.
All right.
Sir, we should go ask who those ones that the Assamites, the names. We need some names, right?
Yes. Uh, find Dr. Quengle. And with that, he kind of starts off into the crowd. You're welcome to follow him if you want, but he kind of lost in his own move.
Yeah, no, Hasib will follow orders dutifully. So yeah, he'll nod and rush off through the crowd to find Dr. Quengle.
I should probably note too, this is probably the first time we've seen him look sort of apprehensive and uncertain, and I don't think you've seen him outside of the chantry. This wouldn't be the first time Dr. Quengle's seen him like this. He's not particularly good at this sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. Hasib's new to pretty much everything, so this is a lot of firsts for him. Dr. Quengle, wait, sorry, sir. Sorry, I did not mean to run into you. Sorry, my fault. And clearly Hasib is having trouble making his way through the crowd. Dr. Quengle.
Yes. Please, sit down. Let the crowd disperse in the chaotic fashion. But you sit down with me and we'll wait for our buddy Jordy.
Hasib, he blinks at Dr. Quengle's laugh. I'm not sure what to think. This is unprecedented, at least here in this city, as far as my studies have been.
Yes, it is unprecedented. But when other men are unsure and show fear, we will show courage, stoically. So, we will sit down, it will be orderly, we will let the chaos go around us, and wait for Jordy. He is acting regent.
Right. He will know what to do. We will be stoic and orderly. And Hasib plops down into the chair with way too much energy, and he's already fidgeting with his foot tapping on the ground and picking
no,
at
Hasib,
the.
sit like this. Quengel's like correcting you, like no, sit like this. You have to cross your legs like this, and just back. One hand on your chin, like this.
Right. Oh, right, like this. Okay. Oh
No. Use your two fingers, kind of grip your chin, like this. Yes. You get.
I think with that, we will cut away to Jordy as he makes his way towards the seneschal.
Jordy's actually going to look for, if possible, and you can tell me if I find them or not. He's looking for the sheriff. He has Lawman's friend as a merit.
That's
so
right.
The one contact worthwhile that actually likes him is the sheriff.
How about this? Roll me a d10 and tell me high or low.
Low. Nope.
Hold on. Yeah. You look desperately, and in the chaos, you cannot find her.
Okay. Then to the seneschal it is.
Alright. As the seneschal stands on the stage, it looks like there's like an active line that has begun to form of those who wish to speak with him. What do? Do you wait in line, or do you try and barge through?
He'll try and barge through.
Alright. As you step forward, there's a number of people like, what are you doing? There's a line! Yeah. As you step forward, and the seneschal looks at you and goes, can I help you, Jordy?
This is unprecedented. Why are we inviting the assassins right in to the city? You know they will hunt us.
This is the prince's command. If you have an issue with it, you can take it up with the prince. If you would like, I can organize a meeting with your a meeting between your primogen and the prince.
Yes, that would be good. Please let the prince know that the regent would like to address this matter. I'm sure once the regent hears about this matter.
All right then. I'll see it's done.
With that, he kind of just walks back through the crowd, sort of in a daze, as he's slowly trying to contemplate what to even do here.
I think it's at this point we're going to cut back to the chantry as you three get together to return back. We are going to cut to Maruna as she is going through this large tome of all the books that are within the library, making sure that everything is accounted for and correctly noted and put in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
There is a point.
She's...
Okay. No,
I was going to say she gets into a rhythm with it, and it gets easier the longer she's doing it, and kind of her mind wanders again.
There's a point where you reach the end, and you realize there's only one book left. And it's the blank book that Hasib tapped earlier. It's not registered within the library.
She kind of double checks to make sure that it's not registered. And she'll take it back to her room.
Alright.
With her other unregistered books. That
I will say,
might want to her notes.
Any books that are taken from the library are all registered. Any of them that exist there, there's an old saying that the librarian has. If it's registered in the book, it's in the library. The fact that something is in the library and not registered to it is, quite frankly, a colossal fuck up for whoever's job it was to put it in there.
And it's one that I'm happy to take advantage of.
That's fair.
Considering that I have other reading material that I am actively poring over.
Makes sense.
Back in my room. I think on the way back, she's also going to stop and kind of take a look at the plants one more time, remembering that she's not allowed to leave until she fixes them. And she's going to just kind of run her hands over the plants and going to use herbal wisdom.
All right. Tell me what herbal wisdom does.
With a touch, a vampire can commune with the spirit of a plant. Conversations held in this manner are often cryptic but rewarding. The wisdom and experience of the spirits of some trees surpasses that of the oracles of legend. Crabgrass, on the other hand, rarely has much insight to offer, but might reveal the appearance of the last person who tread upon it. So the number of successes rolled determines the amount of information that can be gained from the contact. Depending on the precise information, but you get the idea.
In that case, spend a point of blood and roll willpower. We're not going to worry about blood at the moment, because we'll worry about that next session. Because I forgot.
Is it just willpower?
Yep. Roll the current amount of points of willpower you have for your sorcery.
Okay. Roll willpower. Oh, I need to click on my token. I can't click on my token because it's
oh shit!
not on
that's because we're on the wrong page. Okay.
Cool, thank you. Dice. that roll. Yep.
It's 5 successes in that case, because I don't count ones.
Okay.
All right. With 5 successes, as you focus in on the plant, you feel that connection. And as it strengthens, you can hear its whispers. The power that keeps it alive is fading. The rituals that are placed upon these plants so that they no longer need sunlight and can grow with inside the chantry is fading. These plants, many that have been here for centuries, are dying. Because the one thing that keeps them alive is slowly shriveling away into nothingness. Something is wrong. Something is happening. Something is coming. At this point, you hear a voice from behind you. You know they can't ignore it anymore.
They seem to be determined to, but it's gonna be too late soon. And no one's listening. No one's.
Then you have to make them listen, Maruna, before it's too late.
How? They don't respect me.
Well, that you're gonna have to figure out on your own. But I know you can do it. Because you have to. If you don't, it'll all be over for all of us. Once and for all. There is no second chances.
What, I've been looking at the books. What is the mark of the moon?
I can't answer that for you.
Can you tell me where I can find out?
The library holds many texts. Many of them have information you need. But you can't do it on your own. I couldn't. That's how I know that it's impossible to complete using only one mind. Convince the others, whatever it takes. And with that, we see the camera turn to reveal your sire. Here we go. Silas Anderson. Man with dark, slicked hair. Very plain clothing. Dark in color. But he simply stands there and looks to you as he continues. You must convince them.
Okay. I'll find a way.
Good. Now you should go now. Jordi and the others are set to return soon, and the regent will be back.
I think they're bringing bad news.
It's always a safe assumption.
With that, she is actually gonna go and grab her books. And she's actually gonna look for Kess.
All right. What would Kess be doing?
I'm fighting with a light bulb.
All right. We see Kess
Everybody's
in the
at,
regent's
like,
room,
Elysium when I'm changing a light bulb.
like
All right.
try. I think we probably see like a literal box of light bulbs. Just so many light bulbs that you've been going through one by one to find which one's working. We see you on top of a chair, like trying to like mess with the wiring above, but nothing seems to be doing anything. As we see Maruna step into the room.
Do you need some help with that?
At this point, I'll take anything. I'm literally the only one allowed outside, and I'd like to keep that.
Don't don't take that lightly. And she'll
Yep.
kind of like look, kind of observe the light bulb and kind of look at it and squint and see if she can see anything. Either just
Perception and I want to make sure it's actually a stat in this version.
They're an
Perception.
electrician stat.
And in your case, it's going to be perception and occult, difficulty 7.
okay.
Three successes. As you look up, you realize it looks similar to what's been affecting the plants. Like the magic is fading.
She's gonna say, has this isn't a problem with the lights. It's not, a light bulb's not gonna fix it. It's bigger than that. I've been saying it. It's everything. It's the plants, it's the lights, it's all of the magic here. I know that you probably think that I sound insane, but I need you to listen to me.
At this point, the doors open once again as Geordie, Dr. Quangle, and Hasib barge into the room.
In probably mid words, as Hasib is like, security cameras could be really useful right now. We need them more than. Oh, sorry.
I just want to note that when we get back into the car, I tipped the valet before Jordy could.
Alright. He looks
Jordy
genuinely
just-
surprised. He doesn't often get tipped.
Then I look at Jordy, I give him that look like, yeah, I got you.
Jordy doesn't even seem to notice. He's like lost in his head the whole way there. Very abnormal for him. He's quiet the whole time. And he
think-
sort of pokes at him. He didn't even notice as he kind of does all like leading up to this. But yeah, he enters and he goes to move past everyone. Like,
As soon as he walks in and he has that like face on, it's confirming Maruna's fears. So she immediately just kind of gets up from where she was helping with the light bulb and just says, What happened?
Everything's fine. The regent will address it once they're back from their trip.
Everything's not fine.
Hasib's face does not look fine. He didn't say anything. He like opened his mouth to say something and then closed it immediately.
The mirror begins to shimmer, activating.
Do we all notice it? Is it like
Absolutely.
pretty obvious?
It's pretty obvious. Like the runes begin to glow.
Speak of the regent, Jordy, and he shall appear.
Jordan stops and looks.
Begins to shake with waves again as you see the reflection disappears, and on the other side, you see the regent. However, you see that he is mid-run, as if frozen in a position like that. At this point, you all feel this tense sensation in your chest. Like something is straining. As you watch the regent begin to push forward, almost in slow motion, as he reaches forward, you watch as his hand begins to touch where the mirror meets and begins to push through, but the mirror keeps going. Like a bubble, like water, like he's trying to break through the surface tension, as you see a crack appear at the top of the mirror. And then the crack grows larger and larger, and you feel that tense feeling in your chest go stronger and stronger. You watch as the crack begins to go further down, as the regent reaches forward with his other hand. You see in it he has what looks to be a piece of paper. The paper breaks the tension of the glass first, as you watch his fingers begin to come through, and then his hand, as the crack continues further down the mirror, all
Can I
the
run
way
and
until...
grab his hand?
Absolutely.
Sorry,
You go
sorry.
to
Try to
run...
pull him-
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say also, could we try to pull him out?
Yeah, you and Krangle reach forward to grab at his hand, trying to pull him faster, as you see the cracks running down. His face gets to the point where it's just about to break the tension. His glasses just peeking through, as the cracks in the glass finally complete their way all the way to the bottom. And that feeling in your chest snaps as the sound of shattering glass fills your ears as glass goes flying everywhere. I'd like all of you to make stamina rolls. You can roll stamina plus your fortitude.
Oh, we have a soak roll on our token.
Oh, roll soak roll then. That'll be the one.
No.
Is there a difficulty or just...
It'd be standard. So just 6.
Oh.
Why does my rolls look different? Why do my rolls look different?
All right then.
What do you...
All right then. So for Kess, Geordie, and Dr. Quangle, you are peppered with large pieces of glass that cut into your clothes and into your body. Not enough to draw blood, but enough that you can feel the pain as it digs into your chest. Only to realize, oh, you can feel the pain when you normally would not. As part of being a vampire, you don't feel pain in the same way, but in this moment, you almost feel mortal. For Hasib and Maruna, the shards just bounce off you and onto the ground before you. That is until you all find yourself covered in a wave of blood, exploding outwards from the mirror and covering and soaking all of you, knocking you back onto the ground. Dr. Quangle, Marina, you are close to each other as you both look up to realize you are now holding onto a severed hand. As we see sitting at Geordie's feet as he's back on the ground, a broken pair of glasses and the remnants of the Regent's body coating the walls and the floor. It is with that we're going to end tonight's session.
Of course.
Cool.
It's
I'm sure that's
fine.
something you can worry about
It's
when everything's
fine.
happening.
It's fine.
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 Everything's fine.
So yes, I hope our lovely audience has enjoyed watching this disaster fest unfold, and I hope you're excited for more. And I hope you enjoyed the cliffhanger. I think with that, we're going to go through some outros for people, and we are going to go in the opposite order to which we started, which is what I normally do for no reason. Starting with Bob. Why don't you give us your outro and tell us where the good, lovely people can find you?
Hi everyone, I'm Ticking Time Bob. You can find me at Ticking Time Bob Gaming on Twitch and on YouTube. We do a lot of Pendragon and other games with this very crew and some other people. Feel free to come watch us. We have some weekly shows there. And yeah, I've been playing the really petty whip of the Tremere, Geordie. We will totally handle the death of the Regent really well, I'm sure. So we'll find out next time.
Very nice. I'm excited to see how the panic unfolds. Next up, Emily, give us your outro.
Hi, I'm Emily. I played Kess, and definitely check out everything that Mark has and everything that Bob has. I'm one of the aforementioned Pendragon people, and it's a really cool game. And Mark has some really good vampire games going, so watch them.
Thank you very much.
That's all I got.
I'm excited to see more of Kess, and delve into some of the interesting decisions you made for his character.
I'm not taking questions.
Fair enough. All right then. Next up, let's go to Reed. Reed, give us your outro and tell these lovely people where they can find you.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Bree here. Maruna would hate to say I told you so, but kind of I told you so. You can find me at Just As Sweet on Instagram. Here, my handle on Twitch is Firefly Sorcery. I'm just Ree on Discord. And I am part of Mortal Rolls, so you can watch me there with my lovely Mortal Rolls crew on Mondays at 11 p.m. EST. And yeah, we play a Pathfinder game that is a homebrew world vaguely inspired by Greek and Roman mythology. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, come check it out. And I cannot wait for next week to find out what happens after this literal bloodbath.
Oh yes, it's gonna be a fun time. I'm also excited for the chance for people to see more about Rune's mysterious gifts or insanity. We'll see what comes first. I think this should give a shout out to Mortal Rolls. There we go. Next up, Zach, give us your outro. Oh,
All right,
give a
well,
shout out to
hello.
your Twitch.
I'm Zach. I don't really have any handles or other kind of social medias. I'm just a guy who plays in these wonderful games. I played in Bob's games for a while, and they're always a blast. I may be doing something more permanent over there too soon enough. And now playing in Mark's what a night. I love the dynamics between our characters already. Session 1, I think there's a lot of unique characters, and in a game with 5 players, you kind of wonder, oh, how are they gonna mesh, in a small area like the chantry. But it worked super well, and now I'm super pumped to see how we weather the storm, because I don't think it's a small storm. Not this one.
No, it does not seem so. It seems like this storm is going to rage for quite some while. And last, but certainly not least, Cyberbro, give us your outro.
All right. I am Cyberbro. I mean, my Twitch is CyberStation64. The name is kind of pending, kind of tossing around some ideas, brainstorming there. But yeah, I play on Bob's Games. I'm in the Summerland Enchantment game right now, but this is very different. I'm here playing Dr. Quango. So, loving it.
Very nice. And I'm excited for the audience to be able to learn more about the good doctor. Let's see what else is hiding behind his charming veneer.
I'll never tell.
All right. And I have been your lovely storyteller, Mark, aka the CatsMeow. We hope you've enjoyed watching us as much as we've enjoyed playing, and I hope to see you stick around for the next few episodes of this. I also, as Bob has said, I also am in the Pendragon game on his Twitch, so go check that out. It's a lovely time. I also have a YouTube channel, of which you can find the link for in my Twitch channel, or you can do !YouTube, and it should give you the link. If I set it up correctly. Or maybe Nightbot doesn't want me to work. We'll see. Once again, a big thank you to Ree for designing this lovely layout for us and all the wonderful character art. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. I don't know what's going on. I will fix that later. But thank you to Ree for all the wonderful things she has done for us. Thank you. I also do another series, which is on Monday nights for Americans. Late Monday nights, technically Tuesday mornings, which is done for the Australian time zone, because I am an Aussie. So if you're able to join for that in the time you have, if perhaps you're on my side of the world, or perhaps you don't sleep, please come join us. All that information is on the Twitch, also on the YouTube channel. So we hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're ready for next time. And, yeah.
Do you have the ability to raid, good sir?
I do have the ability to raid. So we are gonna raid out.
Dorktales. Dorktales is running Transylvania Chronicles.
Ooh, Dark Tales. Alright. Let's do ourselves a raid.
So now the DuckTales theme is stuck in my head now.
Yep.
It'll be there
Place
for
the word dork and you're good.
Dark Tales. There we go. Raid is starting.
Alright, y'all get your fangs out.
Get your fangs out. Get ready. We're gonna steal the thing from Mortal Rolls, so thank you. Eventually I'll create like some proper things for us. But until then, spam whatever raid emotes you have. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Night.
Bye bye.